Hello, Aries. Welcome. Welcome to my channel. This is a love reading for the sign of Aries. This is a general reading, so keep that in mind. If it doesn't fit you, it doesn't fit you. Okay, it's kind of like that outfit that you really want, but you just can't seem to fit in. Sometimes you just gotta accept it, right? We've all been there, done that. So today we're gonna do a love reading, and kind of want to I want you to take a deep breath, okay? And just know that this message has traveled many realms to reach you. So the energy I'm seeing is like a very shimmering energy when it comes to this reading, okay? And I feel like there's something that's being lifted here, and this is definitely a soul story. I'm picking up strong, like longing for something or someone. I'm seeing you kind of like working, doing things on yourself in hopes that someone comes back. Okay, so and we're seeing that like perhaps you should be doing this for yourself, Aries. Okay, so this reading's kind of like a fire in your heart. Okay, because I feel like you crave love, but not just as a feeling, but you require love to transform you. And in many ways, what I'm seeing from these cards are that, yes, it is transforming you. And perhaps you doing this transformation for not all the right reasons. Okay, but we'll get into that. Okay, so your cards today are Eight of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, the Two of Wands, and right below that, we have the Page of Wands, Two of Cups, and the Death card. Okay. So right off the bat, like we got the Eight of Pentacles, and this is definitely opens up this reading with a totally grounded pulse. Okay. There's someone, and this could possibly even be you, which I'm actually sensing it is you, but please, like, a lot of these readings, just take what resonates, right? And if you need to like switch the roles, sometimes that is how it is. So just keep that in mind, okay? But there's someone here who has been tirelessly building. You've been learning, you've been trying to heal, you like old repeated patterns, and now you're finding yourself breaking them, right, Aries? This is a card. The Eight of Pentacles is very much a card of intention and intentional effort. So this is definitely a card of working for something, okay? And I feel like Aries, you've been doing the work here. Okay, you've been doing shadow work. Maybe you've been going to therapy. Maybe you've been journaling or writing in your diary, or perhaps just like being more open and talking to friends and whatnot about things, trying to understand more about yourself. Okay, I think honestly that considering that we see the Two of Cups here and we see the Two of Wands and the Death card, I really kind of feel like um, you're doing this in trying to learn how to be better in love. Okay, this is a love reading, and I think you're doing all this because you want to try to do better, like be better at communication, because you might probably not the best at communicating, right? You want to be more open to love, and you find yourself more afraid of it than you are open to it, and you're trying to do this work on yourself so that way you could change these aspects and possibly find love. Or from what I'm seeing here, honestly, I feel like you're doing this in hoping to bring someone back, right? I'm really getting like strong, like whispered prayers, kind of like feeling like I'm seeing praying. Okay. And I'm also hearing, if I become the best version of me, maybe they'll see me again. So you're definitely doing this work to kind of attract someone that you might have lost or someone from your past that you want a second chance around. Maybe something happened where you weren't like, um, like wrong place, right time, right person, wrong time kind of deal, right? So you're doing this for external reasons. So I'm hearing spirit say right now that this work is not for them. Okay, this is your time. This is your refinement. Okay, and right now you are becoming the actual goal, the actual person that you always wanted and you always saw in others. You're actually finding that you're becoming that within yourself. So all this work to bring someone back to you, Aries, is in retrospect having a very pleasant side effect. So instead, I mean, you may see this person come back into your life, right? Um, but, at the same time, and we'll get into that later, at the same time, you are also doing this, you maybe not intentionally, but you're changing these things within yourself that in the long run, regardless of if you get back with this person or not, you're going to be able to, take this and, you know, change in a lot of ways. Okay. So we have the Queen of Wands here as well. Now, this is where you stand. Okay. This is you, radiant, magnetic, and quite very much an Aries trait, unapologetically you, right? Um, and this could also, be the same person. I really do feel like this is matching energy between you and this person, right? That you're really drawn to. There's desire here. There's a lot of sexual attraction. And there's definitely presence you can't ignore. Okay, whoever this is a person who's very confident. They're not immune to pain. You know what I mean? Um, I also feel like this is a card that represents yourself and how you've been underestimated a lot in the past. And, you've always kind of been told perhaps you were too much, too passionate, too expressive, too intense. Maybe your emotions were a little too cray cray, But no, you're not doing this anymore. You are reclaiming your power right now. Okay. You are stepping forward, and it's not out of desperation, but it's with power. You're like, I know my worth. I know what I offer. I will not shrink to fit into someone's comfort zone. This is kind of like a resurrection of your self worth through fire, like the phoenix, you know? Um, and so I do kind of feel like this is also your person's energy. And this is why you are trying so hard to attract them back and change things about yourself that you find unpleasant, because they match this energy. I mean, someone who's very determined, right? And, you know, um, and it's just, it's about knowing your self worth and knowing where you come from. Because without this, you cannot give yourself to someone else, right? Hmm. So remember that you're going through resurrection of self right now in many ways. Okay, next we have the Two of Wands, and I'm hearing the word threshold with this card. Um, you find yourself right now just kind of standing at an edge, okay? And the Two of Wands really does it's like a card of question. So it asks you a question, and the question it's asking you, are you going to stay in the familiar, or are you going to take the leap? Are you just going to continue to daydream about something, right? Or perhaps you're waiting for this person that's on your mind to take the leap, to maybe be the first person to reach out, right? Perhaps that's what it is. We're going to pull some clarifying cards after we go down the basics, but perhaps that's what it is. Okay, you're just kind of sitting there in limbo. Okay, so there is a decision here, and it's kind of peering into the distance, holding the past in one hand and a dream in the other. There's a lot of hesitation here, okay? But there's also a lot of planning, daydreaming, a lot of room for possibility, okay? Now, this could definitely be you sensing that your person that this reading is about, like you're sensing them they're about to reach out. Okay, and I do feel like you're at the point right now where you're asking yourself um whether you should wait or you should move on. Now there is definitely distance here. I don't think if there's been contact, I don't think there's been any contact between you and this person for quite a while. That's not for everyone. And if there has been contact, it's been very kind of dry, very one worded, nothing really to gloat about. You know what I mean? So, you have a choice. Do you act on this fire? Do you act on this like this desire that you want, or do you let it smolder into silence? So this is about you contemplating whether you should be the first one to reach out, or whether they're going to be the first one to reach out. But I honestly feel that both of you are at um this same type of mind frame right now. The one or the other, both of you are thinking, are they going to be to reach out? So I'm dealing with two stubborn people, okay, which is very like Aries, kind of stubborn. That's okay. They're represented by the ram, so rams are stubborn. But we're gonna clarify this a little more, okay? Because the reason why you two are thinking about this, and this comes up to our next card, which is the Page of Wands, is because there's a lot that's been unsaid. I really feel like both of you have a lot that's been unsaid. Okay, there's been, you know, instances where both of you have, written text messages, or perhaps try to send an email, or maybe a DM or something like that, but then you just erase it. You don't never send it. And I think both of you are at the point where perhaps one of you or the other is thinking, no, they don't want to hear from me. Again, possible like long term no communication here. But the thing is, this energy, believe it or not, this energy is very positive. Okay. This is a card of potential energy. Potential. Potential is a good word. It's a key word. It means they're still there. There's still hope. Okay. There's still spark there. Just the spark hasn't ignited yet. Just yet. There is someone here who wants to say something. There is someone here who wants to reach out here, and I strongly feel it's both of you. But I feel your person right now, okay, is the one who really wants to reach out. They want to test the waters again. They want to see if the connection is still alive. But I feel like they fear something because honestly, um, you know, we see here with the Page of Wands, sorry, that we have someone who's perhaps was not very, who's kind of young. Perhaps they're younger than you, or they're young in the sense of they're not used to relationships, or perhaps this is like the first time they're feeling something like this. So when there comes to being young, whether it's age or mentality or whatever, there's always going to be fear there. There's going to be vulnerability because it takes time as we grow, whether in age or mentality. It takes time to understand the beauty of vulnerability. So you are kind of dealing, or perhaps this is you. Perhaps you're the one that's, as we saw with the Eight of Pentacles, about you working on things, you know, that aren't the best for finding love. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe this is represented by your fear here of being vulnerable, of being scared. But honestly, I do feel it's both of you here. Okay, both of you are kind of asking yourself, what if I say the wrong thing? Or what if I've moved on? So you guys both are feeling very much mirroring each other right now, very much asking yourself, is there even a point in reaching out here? Okay, what if I say something that just opens up a wound? Or what if they moved on and then I'm going to be heartbroken again? Okay? And in the amazing universal current, it's kind of like this energy feels like a whisper. It's like kind of caught in the wind. It kind of like it's like it wants to reach you, but it's still looking for courage. So this person, and I'm really strongly picking up this specific sentence I just said. They want to reach you, but they're still looking for courage. This person wants to reach out, but I really do feel like they're still kind of trying to find the courage within themselves. Okay. So, but we have a lot of hope here because the next card is the Two of Cups. This bond is very much still alive. Here it is, the center of the reading. This is the soul contract. Two of Cups is all about soul contracts, right? And we saw in the beginning when I said I really feel this is a soul reading of yours, right? This is a soul contract. The Two of Cups confirms it. This is and still is a sacred connection. And that's where the fear comes in because you guys both know that this is a very sacred connection. And that's where the fear comes in, right? There was and still very much is real love here. There's a mirror, there's a meeting of souls. And perhaps, maybe it's making you feel like you're a little bit fucking crazy because you might be, it might have not even been that long of a relationship. It might have not even been that long term, but it was so powerful that it's kind of echoed across timelines here. 5D, it's gone beyond 3D, beyond 4D. It's in the 5D realm. You guys are already there, living the life that you dream of with each other there. So it's kind of echoing right now. Like that bond, that silver golden thread. It's never gone, right? Now, for some, this could be reunion energy, which I do strongly feel there is reunion energy within this spread. So I strongly feel that someone's going to crack here and you guys have unfinished business and you guys are going to make it. I really do feel that way. But of course, we can't really tell the future for sure. Many factors play in. Free will plays in. They could wake up in one day and be like, "Nope, I'm not going to do it," and then it changes the whole course. But I really don't feel that's it. That's it, okay? But this could also symbolize that perhaps, even if it doesn't come together. Okay, I don't want to say that because I know that's not what you guys want to hear, but even if it doesn't, okay, it's still that ache of knowing a connection still lives in your heart, even if it has no place in the present day. Even if you can't find a way or they can't find a way to fit it into their life right now. There's still that ache, and that ache never goes away. Okay? Oh, funny. I'm here in spirit. I'm seeing a cup, right? Two people drinking from the same cup. It's like when you drink from the same soul cup, it leaves a memory in your bones. You guys had a taste of each other. And now that energy is forever within you, and nothing can stop the remembering. So this person's thinking about you just as much as you're thinking about them. Now, next we got the death card, the last card. Okay. Now, this doesn't mean destruction, but it means transformation. And I got this light seers tarot, so it's like a death rebirth meaning in this one. I mean, it's like that with every death card, but especially with this one, right? Um, whatever this was, it had to end. There was something, some type of um something that wasn't being said. Lots of unsaid things, right? But there's something that kind of um made you have to walk away. You had to walk away from this for some reason, right? Perhaps this person, I wasn't being honest with you about something, or perhaps you just knew in your gut there was something like not right about it. This person wasn't loving you in the way that you needed to be loved yet, right? And you might, and very well they might have walked away, right? But I really strongly feel, Aries, it was you who had to walk away. You were forced to walk away, right? And at the time when you did it, you knew it was for the best. And yes, it was for the best because there's still very much a soul contract here. So obviously, you know, it had to act this way. But even though you might have felt like it was for the best, the energy still hasn't fully dissolved. And you still find yourself, of course, as we saw with the two of wands, you still find yourself daydreaming all the time, right? Remember that death comes not to take away, but it to clear space for rebirth. Obviously, the literal definition of death is not what we're talking about here. We're talking about in terms of spirituality, in terms of soul. Death comes not just to take things away, but it's also to clear space for new things, for rebirth. Okay? With this card ending the um ending the reading, I'm sorry, blank. You're being asked to kind of surrender to this. You're being asked to kind of just allow it to be what it is. Motto, I'm hearing the motto, it is what it is, right? It's you're being asked by spirit to kind of stop waiting for this past person to return and allow by letting go, you're allowing space for this person to return, but not in an old form. You're allowing them the space spiritually. They know, their soul knows. They allowing the space to let them come to you, but transformed in a different way. Because forcing, I'm not going to say forcing, but constantly like thinking about this and dreading on it is kind of keeping this energy still. It's keeping it in its old form. So in order for it to come forward in a new transformation, you kind of got to let it go, Aries, okay? Because if this love returns, it's definitely not going to be the same, okay? Spirit is, I'm hearing Spirit say, the one who hurt you must also transform before they can find you again. So they're also on their own journey here, Aries, okay? So let's pull one clarifying card for each, um, one clarifying card for each card, okay? Okay. Okay, so for the Eight of Pentacles, we have the Seven of Cups as your clarifier. So again, Aries, you've been working hard on something here with this Eight of Pentacles, you know, going over possibly healing yourself to be good enough for someone, right? And kind of like your process is, I want to do love right this time around. Okay, there's confusion here though. With the Seven of Cups, this talks about confusion. So even though you're doing this, again, we'll see in clarifying again that you're doing this for all the wrong reasons. Okay, there's still confusion. You're doing this in hopes that this person returns, but you don't know if they are. And so the Seven of Cups is an energy of like floating in like fog. So this whole kind of situation, the reason you're doing this, you still don't know if it's going to work, right? So the Seven of Cups is kind of like clarifying, are you building towards love or towards an illusion? Okay, sorry if the microphone is in and out. It's a weird one, but um, remember that someone here also has to put in the time, the long nights, the emotional investment, but there's always going to be uncertainty. And this uncertainty is, am I doing this all in vain? Do they want me the way I want them? Are you imagining stuff? There's a lot of confusion, right? So Spirit is saying, you are not delusional, but you are dreaming in a mirror. Okay, it's time to kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, be able to tell the difference between what is fantasy and what is fear. And once you're able to master that, right, you could build this from clarity. Remember that love needs to be rooted in truth, not hope. Okay? So with this Queen of Wands, we got clarified by the Hangman and the Page of Cups. So again, this Queen of Wands is you. It's radiant. It's magnetic. It's also this other person's energy. That's why you're so attracted to them, right? Because they're just like you. Okay, this person definitely sees you as confident, sensual. They see you as untamed, as if you're a feminine, they see you as the epitome of femininity, you know. And they have continued to watch you from a distance. Don't think that even if there's no communication here, that they are just completely aloof. Okay, these clarifiers, the Hangman and the Page of Cups, definitely say this, that they're still watching you. Okay, the Hangman here tells us that um, they're stuck. They're either, like we saw earlier, with the main reading, like either they're stuck, they don't know how to move forward, either emotionally, spiritually, or even by choice. Some people just choose to be stuck. So perhaps, they were with someone else. Perhaps they're with someone else. Perhaps you're with someone else here, right? But with this Page of Cups, this is a energy of a sweet apology, right? A message. This is something that they're working up the courage to say to you. It's like a dream they've been hiding in their chest, You may sense their energy around you. You may sense that they still have feelings for you. They're lingering in your energy, and it's very fucking annoying. Trust me, I know. I've been there. It's so annoying. You may be dreaming about them a lot. They want to reach out. They thought of it 1,000 times. But the fear of their power, of your beauty, of perhaps they're intimidated by you, it kind of keeps them frozen. But please know, and Spirit is letting you know with these clarifiers, that even in stillness, connection breathes, okay? Remember that. The people who fear your light, Aries, must learn to glow within themselves. The reason why they fear your light is because they don't feel adequate. So even though you may feel that this person matches your energy, they don't feel like they do. Okay? So next we got the Fool, clarifying the Two of Wands. So again, Two of Wands, we saw it's both you desiring, daydreaming, one or the other, both of you want to reach out, right? But remember, we saw this was a choice, you know? This was a choice. You or this person, both of you most likely, again, are thinking, what if I say the wrong thing? What if they don't want me, right? Is it too late? But the Fool here really comes in to clarify and to urge you it urges a new beginning, okay? But knowing that new beginnings are not without risks, right? There's a lot of distance here, maybe lack of communication for a long time. I'm hearing months and years for some of you. Okay, but there is hope, like we saw. Someone's on the verge of taking a leap of faith. Okay, perhaps they're seeing you grow. They're watching you grow. Like I said here with the Queen of Wands and its clarifiers, they're watching you from a distance. They're maybe following you on social media or stalking your social media, but they know you're up to good stuff right now. Okay, and they're on the verge. I really feel they're on the verge, or what you are, or one of you, but there's something on the verge of breaking. Someone's on the verge of taking the leap. Okay, they're ready to reach out, to break no contact. Okay, even if there's a fear of, is it too late? Okay, and now remember, you could very much, although I don't see this, but remember, you're very much in tune, and you're very much allowed to be like, no, I don't want this anymore. You know, but remember, there is no safety in almost. There's no safety in almost or what if. Nope. Okay, so Spirit is saying both to you and this person that leap when your heart sings louder than your fear. So if your love, this person's love is so big for you that it's going to overcome their fear and they are going to reach out to you here. But you're going to have to also be able to accept it, okay? And not doubt it so much. So next, with the Page of Wands and the clarifiers, we got the Six of Swords and the Emperor in reverse. Okay, now of course we saw the Page of Wands, someone fair, someone younger than you, perhaps there's vulnerability, but this is also the Page of Wands is also the wand of communication, a message, right? Okay, so there is a message coming, like we just saw with the Two of Wands and the Fool. Okay, but also you have to keep in mind we got the Six of Swords here. It's like clarifying that someone walked away here or someone chose to disconnect here, whether it be, it's not necessarily where we saw earlier when you walked away, but it could have been like they chose to shut down and not give you what you needed. But either way, someone walked away before they could speak, before the truth could be spoken, because they were afraid. They were afraid of telling this truth. They may have ghosted you. I don't, you know, like went silent on you. And ghosting isn't just they never talk, they just all of a sudden one day and just never respond. That's one form of ghosting. There's another form of ghosting, which is, you guys mutually decide to walk away, or one of you decide to walk away, you communicate that, and then you disappear. That's ghosting too. It's not as harsh, but it's still ghosting and it still hurts. Okay, someone here, whoever this is, they are more logical, is what I'm getting here, especially with this Emperor card here. They're very logical, right? And they chose their logic over their heart. But even though their heart was speaking so loudly to them, they decided to choose logic. Or you walking away from this, you chose logic over your love. But really, I'm feeling this is your person. Now, with the Emperor reversed, um, this shows that the divine, this is definitely a divine soul contract between the two of you. And whoever this divine masculine is, this doesn't have to be necessary gender, but just energy. It's out of balance. At the time, at least, it was so out of balance. And they couldn't be in their power at the time. Okay, they were living in fear and control and retreat. They cared about what others people, they might have built a very fragile existence around themselves or an image that they were not willing to change, right? But at the same time, they felt they weren't good enough for you, Aries. They knew they couldn't give you the security you needed at that time, at least. So they ran. And I don't think they ran just like ghosted you, like we said, completely. I think they communicated, I don't want this. I can't have this. We can't do this. I'm not ready for this. And they at least were honest with you about it. And you decided to walk away from it because you felt it was the best thing to do. But they ran nonetheless. But let me tell you right now, they haven't forgotten you. They've written many texts. They've deleted, typed, deleted, the little bubble, dot, 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 typed, deleted, spent many nights, many days thinking about what happened between the two of you, repeating things in their head. Okay? So remember that those who run from love, they often do it because it kind of reflects too much of what they do not yet know how to hold. So whatever this type of connection it was, whatever type of um, love it was something that they've never felt before and they didn't know how to hold it because this was a sacredness. It was a soul type of love. It's very strong soulmate energy here, very strong twin flame, I dare to say. But only you will know, and trust me, only you will know if it's a twin flame journey. Don't fool yourself into thinking it's a twin flame when it really isn't. Sometimes soulmate is enough, but it could very well be a twin flame energy, right? The thing is, you deserved more, and they knew this, and that's why they thought logically that they couldn't give you what you wanted, and you deserved it, and so they walked away mentally before physically. They walked away mentally before they walked away physically, right? And that's what made you walk away. You were like, no, you were the one that said, no, I can't, I'm going to give you the space you need. You do your thing. I'm always here for you. You walked away with dignity. But there's still a lot of stuff that was left unsaid. Okay, you deserved more. That's what this person thought, but yet the flame still fucking flickers. It still is in you're still very much in their heart. Even if they tried to move on, they just haven't been able to. Okay, now we got the Two of Cups clarified. The Two of Cups, that was been clarified by the Six of Cups, which is so funny because the Six of Cups speaks of past people, nostalgia. Now, the Two of Cups joined with the Six of Cups tells us one thing. This is not this connection is not of this life alone. This is a spiritual connection. It's crazy because I was just talking about this could possibly be a twin flame, and then the Six of Cups clarifies this Two of Cups, and it definitely is. This is a past life bond. This is a twin flame, soulmate, karmic, but I'm really picking up it's twin flame. However you frame it, it doesn't matter if you believe in that stuff or not. It was meant to be felt deeply. So your connection was meant to be really deep. Okay, it was meant to be beautiful and as intense, even if it didn't last very long. A lot of times these type of relationships don't last very long, but there's such an intense feeling, like as if you guys have known each other your whole lives. When you would look at this person and they would look at you, there was just a sense of familiarity that you guys both can put your finger on. But you knew. Okay, you two may have shared lifetimes together, and I really feel I'm seeing a star with two souls. So I really feel like you may have promised at one lifetime ago, maybe in spirit form, in soul form, a star somewhere, to find each other in every lifetime. And here you are, finding each other, right? And you guys know this. You guys might have dreamed about this. And here it is. It's deep, it's mirrored, it's soft, but yet it's guarded. And these type of connections are not without obstacles, okay? And this is what that Six of Cups is letting you know. Spirit is saying right now, reunion does not always mean romance. Uh, Sometimes the purpose is remembrance, okay? Reunion isn't always about romance. Sometimes it's about remembering who you are. But, of course, there's deep love, romantic feelings here, okay? Don't get us wrong. You and this person did not imagine it. You're not delusional. You're not imagining shit. You both recognized this. It's recognition. You guys both recognized it. Okay? So we're going to go with the last one, the death card clarified by the Knight of Wands. Okay, like, of course, we saw the death card is earlier. It's not necessarily, a bad thing. It usually means transformation. Okay? Please know, I'm hearing God, like, Spirit is telling me, like, you're beating yourself up, right? And maybe you felt like this ending was a punishment towards you, but it wasn't. It was an activation, is what I'm hearing. Both of you activated each other's soul growth. Soul growth. You guys had to step away because you guys both needed to grow. In order to remember yourselves, both of you needed to lose each other. Okay, but the Knight of Wands here is here to say, they're coming back, baby. Woohoo! They're coming back. There's unfinished business. But remember, when they do come back, are they coming back with passion or with purpose? But I do feel this person's coming back with purpose. Remember when I said earlier, you got to kind of let things go. With this, what we saw with the death card, the original meaning was let things go. You have to let it go, accept it for what it is, and allow the space for this person to come back transformed. And okay, or else it's never going to change. And yes, this Knight of Wands is about in and out energy, but not in this spread. Okay? This person's coming back with purpose. You are definitely, you might hear about them unexpectedly, although I don't think you're be completely unexpected because I feel like you know in your heart that it's coming, right? You might get a message, a memory might just ignite something, okay? And I do feel this person's coming back with purpose. But I'm hearing red alarms. Spirit is making me say this. If they return in chaos and they're not emotionally mature, and you could sense it right off the bat, the moment you sense that, you have to protect your peace and keep boundaries, okay? Remember that do not burn again in a fire you already survived. That's kind of, it's asinine to even do that, right? It's kind of like counterproductive. If the flame returns, let it warm you. Don't go jump in all the way at first, okay? Let it kind of warm you up. Kind of like, you know, when you heat up, a glass cookware. I know it's weird. You have to kind of heat it up slowly or else it's shatter. Okay? Don't let it consume you this time around. This is your warning. Don't let it consume you and it's going to work out amazing. Okay? And the final things I need to say about this is you are on the edge of a chapter, Aries. Okay? This person still loves you. And yes, they may have not said it yet, and they have not shown it yet, but I promise you that your energy, it lingers like a whisper in the wind, right? This is not just about romance, although there's a strong romantic connection here. This is about self-worth. This is about standing in your power, no longer begging for crumbs, okay? But claiming the feast that your soul deserves, meaning you're no longer going to beg this person to be what you need. They're going to have to either come correct or go home. But you want to feast on this. This person's coming back with purpose. They're coming back to give you what your soul deserves. Okay? So perhaps, um, yeah, perhaps we'll see more of this in the future. You know what? I'm going to pull a couple just outcome cards, just 3 of them, okay? Okay, just give me 1 second. Okay. What are the outcomes? We got the 5 of Swords, the Page of Swords, and then we got the Ten of Pentacles. Great, these are cool. So with this Page of Pentacles here, this is like a dream. This is a vision. This is the potential that once lived between you, right? It reflects what could have been, but what still could be in a different, reality, in a different form. Because remember, they're going to come back to you transformed, right? At one point, Aries, this person saw you as long term. We saw that, right? And the clarifiers throughout your reading, especially the Two of Cups, the Six of Cups, and the Knight of Wands, all spoke of deep recognition, right? Soul memory, and kind of like an intense pull between two people who weren't just passing strangers. Okay, this was meant to be more. This card is kind of like the what if. So, but this also um, reflects your power that you've been building to call in a new version of that dream, with or without them, okay? Now, my guides are telling me the soul you imagine building a legacy with, this person may have been a blueprint and not the builder, right? But yet the energy lingers. Brings us to the Five of Swords. This is the fracture saw. Here's the fracture. This is the when the dam broke. It's the story you lived. With the clarifier, with the cards, the devil, the 5 of swords, and the hangman, those clarifiers, is one of restraint, right? The story you lived is one of restraint with these, especially with these cards, of power imbalances, of a power imbalance with this person, um, of this person just couldn't say what needed to be said. They were too scared. And whether it ended in silence or in harshness, which I don't know. And I don't think so. I think it ended nicely, but it felt a little harsh. Whoever, you know, you both walked away without feel you both but you guys both felt guilt. Okay, one felt more guilt and the other one felt confusion here is what I'm getting. So like this person, even though they shut off they shut off emotionally to you before they walked away, but they left feeling guilty, you left feeling confused. So, both of you suffered here. Okay, your fire may burn hot, Aries. That may be true, but in love, you feel deeply. Aries is very deep, deeply. They feel deep. So when you feel betrayal, miscommunication, or abandonment, you take it. It's like it affects you deeply. It becomes like a ghost that haunts any connection you go into the future. This card is asking you is to confront what was left unhealed. It's asking not to reopen the wound. Just let it breathe, right? By allowing yourself, by allowing this to breathe, you're going to get a message from this person. Okay, you can rewrite the ending. You can't rewrite the ending, I'm sorry. But you can choose what you carry into your next story, right? Keep that in mind. Now, this person's still watching. They still think about you. They're stalking. They're stalking your. Sorry about that. I don't know. My microphone kind of got weird. They are stalking your social. They're doing everything, right? This person may not be speaking, but they are observing. They remember. And this is definitely a sign of communication. For some of you, it may not be, but for most of you, sign of communication is coming. Okay, it might not be it may not be super direct, you know, it might be a little random message, a like, maybe a song sent to you, something very subtle. They're gonna like test the waters as we saw earlier, right? They're curious. They're definitely regretful, but they're they are unsure on how to bridge like the chasm or the bridge between you. They're unsure how to do it. They don't know how to bridge like the two dualities of them, between who they were and who are they now. Like they want to approach this, and not have you think them as being the same person. So, again, allow this person to come in transformed. But there is communication coming. There definitely is, okay? Now, I want to share something that Spirit kind of wants me to kind of channel to you. And this is your transmission, so to speak, right? Flame Wilder, notice. The one who couldn't hold your heart did not define it. The silence you received was not a reflection of your worth. But they see you still in dreams, in signs, in flashes of what could have been. But you were never meant to dim just to be understood. Never. So let your fire lead you forward now, okay? Not towards what was, but towards what is becoming, what is happening, what is coming to you, okay? So expect communication, expect a transformed person. Wow, this has been a long reading. 49 minutes. Holy cannoli. Anyways, thank you for if you made it this far, thank you. If you had like this reading, please give me a like, maybe share it, maybe subscribe. That would be great. And until next time, Aries. Bye.